Hey YouTube, I'm here to do the video review for If Loving You Is Wrong, Season 3, Episode 7, titled The Party Just Arrived. This episode, they could have kept it, but every now and then there's going to be filler episodes, so I can deal with it. It just didn't really impress me. But whatever the case, let's just get through it. So, started off where it left off. The police officers are all coming outside of Kelly's house, coughing. They're trying to catch their breath. Kelly is still flipping out, crying, trying to tell Esperanza, I have to get in there. What is going on? Esperanza's trying to keep her calm and outside of the house. Next thing you know, Kelly decides, one of the police officers, who happens to be Derek from Hit the Floor, which is the second Hit the Floor castmate we've seen on this show, 2 weeks in a row. He is a new police officer that comes on the scene, and he's telling her, calm down, everything's okay. Did you leave the stove on? There was actually a gas leak. If we would have came any later, as soon as we turned on the lights, the whole house could have blew up. And I'm like, Travis, you were nuts. You're trying to kill her. I knew you were crazy, but I thought you were crazy in a sense I'm crazy and I want to be with you, not I'm crazy and you're going to die. Okay, but whatever the case. So he's still, in her mind, Travis still has possession of her son because her son's not in there. She's flipping out. Where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? The police aren't able to give her an answer at this point. Okay, so heading back over to Alex's house, we see her two smart aleck kids sitting downstairs on the couch. So her son notices, he hears all these police sirens. There's police outside. He goes to the laundry room to tell his mom, hey, Mom, what's going on? There's a ton of police outside. Of course, she gets nervous because she's thinking they've caught on to her. They know that she set it up for her parents to come and get Randall. Oh my gosh, I'm going to jail. No, that's not the case, but Alex comes out of the laundry room, tells her kids to go upstairs, and then there's a knock on the door. Of course, the knock on the door is the police officer that was just speaking with Kelly about her son. They're still looking for her son, so quite naturally, they're going to go around to their neighbors saying, hey, we have a lost boy. His phone was over in this area. Can you help us locate him? Have you seen him? Whatever the case. And so then Kelly comes up behind the police officer because she wants to know what's going on as well with her son. And then Alex just nonchalantly says, oh yeah, Justice, he's upstairs. Yeah, Travis dropped him off. I'm like, Alex, if you didn't actually talk to Kelly yourself, Kelly did not tell you that her son was getting dropped off there, then why didn't you relay that information when he got dropped off? I know you have a lot going on, but you still have someone else's child, under your care. So you probably should have informed her. Whatever the case, her life is all over the place. So Justice comes downstairs. Kelly is so happy to see him. Oh my gosh, you're okay. Oh my gosh, don't ever get in the car with Travis again. And he's like, why not? And she's like, because Mommy and Travis are not friends. And I'm like, Kelly, why are you talking to this boy like this? Justice has to be at least 10 or 8 or something. He can understand. Tell him, Travis, he's crazy, okay? As far as I'm concerned, he's a stranger and he could be dangerous. So you're not going around him, period, point blank. Not oh, Mommy and Travis aren't friends. Justice isn't 2. He's not 3. He's not 5. He kind of needs to know stranger danger when it comes to Travis. So, of course, he's Justice is not understanding. He's picked me up any other time and blah, blah, blah. So this is not good for the police to hear because they're thinking, once again, Kelly's tripping. Your son even said that Travis picks him up sometimes, which I think is so stupid because... Okay, finally they send Justice back into the house, and the police officers then start asking Alex, what type of person does she think that Travis is? And Alex is like, oh, he's a nice guy. When I met him, it's all good. I've never heard anything bad about him. Okay, so that doesn't help the case. Esperanza's like, that doesn't mean anything. And then Kelly is like, I want him arrested. And the police officers are like, we really don't have much to arrest him on. You come down to the station and talk to us. And I'm like, I think this is so stupid on the police officer's part because at the end of the day, he had taken her child into his own care without informing her or without asking her. That should be like kidnapping in a sense. Although he dropped her off, he did not have permission to pick up her child. So for that reason, you should be able to do something. You shouldn't be looking at Kelly like she's the problem. But whatever. So next thing you know, they're headed to the station. Okay, Detective Steven. So Steven steps outside the captain's office and asks Ben to come and talk to him for a second. Then when Ben gets in there, and of course Ben is the one that got his finger shot off by Eddie. He's, trying not to say too much because he's scared of Eddie. But the captain's like, Steven was like, why were you in the captain's office? He's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, I have cameras because I put a camera in here and I know that you were in here. So tell me, why were you in here and you were on the computer? Like, it shows me that you were illegally searching a secure, like, FBI database. What's going on? So Eddie is like, not Eddie. Ben is like, you're in good with Eddie, right? He's like, what are you talking about? He was like, come on. Like, you're working with Eddie, right? So eventually Steven just has to go with it. And he's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, he told me to come in here and he told me to look up Claudia on the FBI system because he really believes that she's FBI along with Lucien. So Steven is just trying to, like, put out that fire. He's like, Eddie is just losing his mind. That's not true. Don't come in here and be snooping around, whatever. And so next thing you know, he sends him out and he says, hey, send Eddie in here to talk to me. So Eddie comes inside and he asks Eddie, like, what is going on? What is all this about? Why do you have him looking into Claudia? He was like, dude, I'm telling you, she's FBI. And he's like, she's not FBI. Like, we ran, like, searches on her a million times. She's not FBI. And he's like, okay. Well, really, look. I made a big mistake with Julius Escada, and he gave me a list of people to take out, and she's one of the people. And I don't know why, but I'm thinking maybe it's because she's FBI. I don't know. But he told me to take out Quan's mother, and Claudia. And so, of course, Steven was like, so you actually took out Quan? And he said, no, Lucien's boy took him out. And he was like, are you sure, or do you just make it look like that? And then he was like, no, he really took him out. Like, he did my job for me. And, of course, he hasn't gotten to Quan's mother. And then Claudia, he was like, I don't know why he wants her taken out, but he does. And, I have to get in good with him. Once I get in good with him, he'll feel like he's indebted to me, and we'll be in good graces. And they will just do anything, like, for me. So Steven is like, okay, well, when you get in good with him, I want to be good with him too. And then he's like, okay, whatever. So Steven is just playing the game because we know that Steven and Lucien and the FBI, they're really trying to take down the Escada, like, whole ring. Okay. And we also know that Julius wants them taken out because I believe that Quan's mother is entatled to Julius's late father's money, along with Quan because that's his mother, but Quan is out of the picture already, and Claudia is like his half sister or something, and whatever, he left his money to her, so that is why they want to get rid of them. Okay, so next thing you know, we get Kelly's ex, which is Justice's father, placing a call to Aunt Viv. I know her name is Miss Diane, but she's always going to be Aunt Viv, the real Aunt Viv. So he places a call to her. He's like, Mom, look, I know that you've been giving Kelly a hard time. Can you please just stop? It's fine. And then she's like, no, you need to have a place to stay. He's like, no, it's fine. I will let her explain to him in her own time what has occurred throughout all these years. Not like the deep, dark secrets, but, I want him to feel comfortable when I do start coming around. And I don't want to rush that. And then she's like, yeah, but I'm just looking out for my son. And he's like, yeah, but she's doing a great job. Like, she's a great mother. Like, she's the one, I took the fall for her so she could take care of our son. So that's just what it is. And then he's like, if I didn't do this, then who would be there for our son? And she's like, well, I would. She was like, yeah, but do you know how good he's doing in school? Do you know, like, how just well-mannered of a kid he is? How much of a great job she's doing? I appreciate that. And I'm okay with even just that. So his mom was like, yeah, okay. So next thing you know, she gets off the phone. Miss Diane wasn't paying him no attention because when she ran into Kelly at the police station later on in the episode, Kelly is like, oh, I don't have time for this, Miss Diane. Miss Diane was like, what a coincidence. I'm on my way to my son's court hearing or his parole hearing, and they might let him out today. And if they do, I will be bringing him straight to your house. She's like, Miss Diane, no, you can't do that. She was like, I have a key now, so yes, I can, and I will. And then you figure out how to deal with it from then. You don't want my son to stay because he took the fall for you. You really should be here turning yourself in. But you don't want my son to stay? Well, then you tell him that to his face. Well, we know Kelly's not going to do that. So this will be interesting when her son shows up on Kelly's doorstep and Travis is lurking in the bushes. Like, Travis is going to go nuts. Okay. So, next thing you know, Randall. Randall is like, he clearly was like the type of kid who, like, he relished in the act of snitching on somebody. So, what's her face? Natalie pulls up to her new house from a cab, and Randall just comes strolling down the street like he's so happy to see her. She's like, look, I don't know what you want, but you know that I don't like you. Like, I don't care for you. Like, what could you be possibly having to say to me? He's like, oh, I just noticed we're neighbors now, and that's great. And, but I kind of, there's some things you probably should know. She's like, look, I don't have time for you. Like, I don't even like you. Like, we don't even have a relationship like that. Why are you talking to me? And he was like, well, I just thought you would want to know that Lucien is cheating on you. And she's like, boy, bye. And then he was like, no, it's true. She's cheating on you with Alex. I saw him come out of Alex's house today. So, you can ask them if you want. She's like, boy, bye, get out of my face. Like, she's trying not to appear to be fazed in any type of way. Okay. So, next thing you know, she goes and she decides, what is it going to hurt? Let me walk over to Alex's house and ask her, because if Lucien was in her house, he doesn't have a reason to be in her house. Well, we all know he was in her house because he got like some candles or something to surprise Natalie. She goes over there and talks to Alex. She's trying to like act normal, and she's like, oh, was Lucien over here earlier today? She's like, yep. And then she's like, oh, okay. Was he over here, like, did he just come in and come out, or did he come in and sit a while and then leave, or like, what was his purpose in being here? She's like, I can't tell you, because if I told you, like, it would kind of ruin things. Like, have you been home yet? She's like, no. And she's like, oh, you should talk to Lucien. Natalie's trying to keep her cool, but now, like, the gears in her mind are turning, like, girl, bye. Don't be secretive with me. So, next thing you know, she goes over to her house, and Lucien is standing outside looking happy, like he just has the biggest surprise for Natalie. And Natalie starts questioning Lucien. She's like, did you go over to Alex's house today? And he was like, nope. And she's like, are you sure? Really? He was like, yep. She was like, that's funny, because she said that you went over there. He was like, oh yeah, that's right, I did. Yep, but I didn't want anything. And then she's like, okay, you know what? Because I'm about to snap, because you're not about to be acting crazy with me, and you're probably sleeping with Alex, and Randall already told me. And so he's like, you know what? I'm not even going through this with you. You're in an uproar. You deal with this by yourself. Go talk to her. Do what you got to do. I'll be over here when you're done. So Natalie, of course, goes over there like she's on a mission, and she goes in the house, and she goes straight to the point with Alex. Like, are you sleeping with Lucien? Alex is like, what? No. Then she was like, why would you say that? Did Randall tell you that? She said, well, as a matter of fact, he did. And so Alex is like, he told you that because I told him that. And Natalie is like, girl, what? And she's like, no, but I only told him because I had to get him off my back, and I was just really mad, and we were in this custody little like mediation thing, and things weren't going the way I wanted it to, so I said that the baby wasn't his baby, and of course the baby is mixed, so he's like, no, it has to be my baby. And really, Lucien is the only other black dude I know, so that's why I brought up Lucien's name. And Natalie was like, I don't know if I can believe you. And she's like, I promise you I would never do that to you. And then Natalie is like, well, you did it to Marcy. And Alex is like, well, you know, touche. But I really wouldn't do it to you. I really wouldn't. Yeah, because she knows that Natalie is crazy. Like, Marcy's just going to talk stuff, maybe cuss her out, but Natalie would literally try to kill her. So, whatever the case, she's just like, I promise you it's not true. And so Natalie said, well, you need to clear this up. You need to clear this up right now. You know how word travels. I don't like this. Like, get it together now. You're not waiting till after no paternity test. You're going to get it finished now. Okay. So she's like, Alex is like, I promise, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I've never looked at Lucien in that way. I'm so sorry. Okay, so then Natalie goes back over to her house, goes back inside, and she is like odd, like floored, because everything looks so beautiful. It's all new furniture, decorations, everything. It's like she's walked into a model home. None of this was her furniture, but now it all is her furniture. Thanks to Lucien, because Lucien was paying attention and he looked at all the magazines that she looked at, and she would circle things that she liked, and he went out and he duplicated it. Now, it might not be the name brand, but it's close enough. And she's like, I'm so happy. I'm like, Lucien, that was just so sweet. Like, that was really sweet. Like, he really loves her. And he's like, look, you're going to have to apologize first, because I don't know why you came at me like that. She said sorry, and then he showed her, I went over there for these candles. So she's just in awe right now. And she's about to take it to the house while his phone rings. She's like, don't trip, get your phone. I will look at the house. His phone rings. He picks up the phone. He's like, who is this? And, of course, Pete is on the other line talking about, oh, this is Su Ling Mai. Of course, his undercover name. Or his witness protection name. So he's like, okay, Pete, what do you want? Pete was like, I have a really funny story to tell you. So I was in physical therapy today, and there was this young boy in there. He said that he worked for our police department. He said he knew you, and you were a joke, and that you're the reason why he got shot on the job and all this and that. And then next thing you know, the police came in and took him to jail. I knew the dude was lying. And so, Lucien was like, what's the boy's name? And he was like, I don't know. I think it was like Joey or something. He's like, yeah, that's my son. He was like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the story's not that funny anymore. So he's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Thanks for telling me. I will have to deal with this and tell his mother. Okay, so he gets off the phone. Natalie is still in awe, looking at the bunk beds in the kids' room, then her room and the big bed, and she's like, Lucien, I'm so happy. So come over here, like, I want to show my appreciation. Well, next thing you know, he's like, he couldn't even, like, pretend to, like, be happy in that moment. He's like, I got to tell you, Joey's in jail. They came and picked him up because he violated his probation. And she's like, dang it. And she didn't even freak out like I thought she would. It was just like, hey, it is what it is. We'll have to get past it. It's sad. Things keep happening, but, we'll get through it. And Lucien is like, we're going to get through it together. So I thought that was so sweet. Okay, so I think I went over everything. No, Randall. Randall shows up to Brad's job. Randall is on a snitching mission, okay? He's really butthurt because in his mind, he's like, what? I thought Alex loved me, and she out here sleeping with other black dudes? Like, this makes me so mad. I'm going to tell the whole world so everybody can be butthurt. Okay, so next thing you know, he goes into Brad's office. Brad is like, what are you doing here? You better get out of here now. Randall was like, no. I came to apologize. And, I also wanted to tell you I'm dropping the lawsuit. You saved my son. You saved the baby. Or I don't know if it's necessarily my son, because come to find out, Alex was sleeping with Lucien. And I'm sure you're, like, pretty upset about that. I mean, I was upset when I found out. Brad is like, get out of here. Like, I'm not dealing with you right now. And he's like, I mean, it's pretty messed up, because you would never expect that. Brad is like, dude, get out. Whatever the case, he's like, okay. I can go. It's okay. Whatever. It's fine. And because he's counting down to 10, or he's counting up to 10, Randall starts walking out the door because he sees that Brad is serious. Next thing you know, He opened the door, and I guess the party had just arrived. It was freaking Eddie. And I'm like, you were safer when it was just you and Brad. Now Eddie then came up in here like, you ain't going nowhere. The party just got started. And I'm like, Eddie, please, please. I mean, you already tried to hang the man. And that is why Randall is nervous, and he's like, I got to get about this piece. Randall needs to stop snitching, and he needs to stop going around and like adding more fuel to fires, okay? Just let it simmer down. You should just be happy you have your life right now. Whatever the case, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on my other YouTube channel, which is featured on this page, and mrsblogaholic.com. Bye.